What did I get myself into?
It's my first night using something on StreamYard, doing something by myself.
This is
Sorry,
why we
Frog.
don't stream with humans.
I was about to say, I haven't seen this frog in a minute.
No offense
It's
to
been
the
a
rabbit
while.
down there.
None taken.
Yes, it's me, the comic book frog. I'm here with Zach for the first time ever without Puppetine. Yes,
That's right. We have no adult supervision.
Puppetine is stuck under a bridge.
Where he belongs. I'm just kidding.
All
But
right.
with us, we have esteemed guests tonight. We have Tim Lim, artist spectacular of Kamen America.
Hey yo, how's everyone doing?
Yes. Thank you all for I saw all the awesome retweets and likes. I've never felt so targeted on Twitter.
It's a good time. It's a good type of attention that you want.
It
on
is
social
actually
media.
ratioed. I was glad.
We're getting-
For half the things I see on that Twitter account, oof.
That's true.
But what am I thinking about? That's you, Zach. You're always attacking people.
I'm not attacking people. I just get salty sometimes.
They have a tweet that you don't like, so you have to say your piece like a Karen.
Do y'all
No.
have the downvote tweet, like the option on your Twitter account?
To downvote?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh man, it's I don't know how it works. So apparently, you like other people can't see it, but it's to, I guess, like discourage it algorithmically from popping up in people's feeds and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I got the downvote option.
Interesting. I know, isn't there like the Twitter Blue that you have to pay for? I wonder if that's an option if you like get Twitter Blue.
I don't know. I know that there's a verified account. I actually applied for one of those years ago, and they turned me down, I think, twice. But I know that
Elon Musk, get on that.
Yeah, he's been doing some stuff. Like I've noticed some changes happening lately. I still see people getting blocked or kicked off for like crazy reasons, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe once he gets in there and takes over, you'll be able to get your verified status.
Maybe, yeah.
All right.
That'd be nice.
So, I like how little casual art is with a puppet in the room.
I'm used to it. I mean, my avatar's a rabbit with a knife in its mouth. It's not the weirdest thing I've seen.
Yeah. I like how the handle of the knife is a carrot stick. I'm really digging that. That's awesome.
We're kind of similar, you know. I carry scissors and I chase Puppetine.
That reminds me of that trailer I saw today. It's for that movie called Megan. Did you see it?
I started to see. I think I saw like 20 seconds of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
Megan Fitzmartin?
Nah, it's about like this robot named Megan. It looks exactly like the plot of the Child's Play remake.
Oh,
Weird.
just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, but it's the funny thing is it's not for Halloween. I think it comes out February of next year.
Oh, that's a creepy
All
Valentine's
right.
Day.
I want to shout out. We actually do have some new people watching here. Mainly because Tim is a star magnet. It brings everything here to their channel.
Whatever.
He has the best milkshakes. And he doesn't throw them at us.
No,
Yes.
no.
Oh,
I'm a
now I want
kind
milkshake,
guest.
though.
You're a kind guess. All right, let's go back up to the top here. Looks like we have Tehillim. Then we have Action Comics Maranya. Hello to Xander. First time on the channel, I believe.
I think we've seen Xander around before.
I've seen him on Angle Team. Yeah, I think he is the one that actually bought Kamen America #1 for 2K.
That's
Oh,
right.
man.
He was the big bidder at E's auction.
That's so crazy. We saw that there's someone on eBay selling theirs for 2K also. So apparently it's someone who saw that stream and
It's actually Xander. He's flipping it.
I actually thought that might have been the case, but I had a photo of the book that we sent to England Team, and I looked, and the signatures were different. It's definitely our book, though, that we signed, but it's two different signatures.
It's in a different spot, though.
Yeah.
Yes, buy my book.
Oh, your book. So you're the one who put it up there.
I signed it myself. Look, with no fingers.
Well, hopefully you didn't dox yourself, because I think the guy's name is on there.
Well, it's not me. I mean, me. I don't know.
Me. Yeah.
So he says, nah. Yeah, Xander's like, no, I'm not selling it. It's on my desk. Smart. That's what I wouldn't sell it.
Hello to Lorenzo Sleestack. Thank you for joining.
Lorenzo?
I'm trying to see if there's anybody else here that's new, but I think that's pretty much about it.
Robert
Hello to-
Roberts.
Yes. Robert Roberts, MP Real Goddess. Thank you for blessing us with your presence, Goddess.
Wait, who's Goddess?
MP Real Goddess. She is a Twitch streamer.
Oh, okay.
She plays video games and laughs at her own jokes.
The video games. Hey, laughing at your own jokes is okay.
But hers are funny.
That was mean.
But true. Facts don't care about your feelings.
But true.
Man, I was tuning into one of those streams you guys do where you read comics in like different voices and stuff.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, those are weird. I always seem to hop on like in the middle or at the end, and I think to myself like, oh, they're actually reading the real thing, and I can honestly not tell when you guys go off script because sometimes you guys just roll with it. The only reason I know there's something weird going on is I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure that Captain America would not say those types of things.
And we have another guest here. Looks like we've got Mr. Eric Breen.
Oh no!
Did someone ask for a delicate flower?
For 1 minute.
More like,
you get your minute with Breen.
Hey.
That's the thing.
Is there like 7 minutes in heaven?
Hey.
Oh, God. What kind of heaven are you thinking?
Hey, you bucking for my rawhide gig?
No, because every time whenever I pop into the channel, I always go. I used to put down in brackets like Rawhide Kid voice, hey. But now all I do is I just say it, like I type it out like HAAAY, and then England will actually say it in that voice. So apparently it's just well known around these parts that's what.
We have our inside jokes for the readings. You know, whenever the Rawhide virus hits, and God's like, "Hey, how's it going?"
It's not just Rawhide Kid. Pretty much at this point, anytime there's a cowboy on the screen for anything, it's just.
I'm having cognitive dissonance because I'm looking at the camera, and when Froggy does it with his little arm, it actually like looks cute. Do it again.
Don't trust him.
Hey.
That's how he disarms you. And then once you get too close to you. Once you get close to him, he just like jumps on you, grabs you like a face hugger.
I was gonna say I don't take anybody's arms.
Well, yeah, I guess you can't. You don't have thumbs, so there's that.
I will honestly say it's surprising to see Eric Breen here with this chicanery with a cartoon puppet of a frog. Not the company I expect to see him in most situations.
He loves me very much.
Yeah, I love you like tooth decay, brother.
Ugh. But it's
How's that going
worth
on
it
for
for
you?
the candy.
Tooth the gay. It only hurts once.
I thought you said tooth the gay.
Tooth decay. No, it's
not French.
Tooth
decay.
Now maybe after the rawhide virus, because
You
you never know when that's going. Oh no!
Oh
no! And then the tooth falls out.
Yes, the rawhead kid himself, Eric Breen.
Yay! Eric has low standards, says Ash.
I have no standards.
Ooh.
Exactly.
He counterattacked your insult, Ash.
Yes, just like I am. I have uncommon sense. I don't have common sense.
I don't think you just have. I just think you don't have sense.
In
Like
fact,
Denny.
after being in the company I'm in on this bottom row, I may have to. Yeah, I might get so much culture that I might have to do one of Ash's streams to balance things.
You'd have to find the stream first.
That's true. Ash's streams are very difficult to find. They're so rare.
It's like hanging out with John Cena. Where you're saying, Marco, waiting for him to say it.
Well, there's a possibility that Criminal Cast may be reforming for the one that's coming out tomorrow.
Really? Oh. Wow. When has it ever worked out for bands in the past where they got back together?
I don't think it's ever worked well.
Yeah. It ain't like we're the Beatles getting back together again. So.
Well, I don't think anybody was saying that.
Get back to where you once belonged?
Okay, you're losing me now.
I don't know anything about
he
music.
quoted a lyric from the band that I mentioned.
Yes.
I know like 2 Beatles songs off the top of my head.
Why don't you excuse yourself and come back when you're a little older?
Or just never come back. That's an option too.
That's so rude.
I'm not being rude. I'm being a realist. I didn't say you didn't have. You have choices. I didn't say you had to not come back, but we won't keep you from coming back.
I'm so alone here. I'm a man surrounded by avatars and a frog.
I didn't notice that. You are the only live human presence.
I know.
On
I'm the target.
Required that I have an adult on here, so we have to have a human.
So anyway, why am I talking like you? I keep doing that. Whenever you're on, I talk like the frog. I don't understand that.
It's because I have a sexy voice, and you want to be like me. Hey. Love the frog.
No, oh my gosh, yeah, I forgot you do those close-ups.
Extreme close-up. Whoa!
So we are here tonight. We are hanging out with Tim, and we're just kind of doing a hangout type of stream. Of course, Tim, they do have the campaign going right now. We won't talk about it too much, but there is the campaign for Kamen America, Volume 6. It is still going on. I think it's got like 8 days left. So be sure, if you haven't already, check that out. Go ahead and do it.
I believe after that, it launches on Indiegogo a week after.
No, it's on Indiegogo right now.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's on both Indie and Kickstarter at the same time.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, insane. That way, after it's done, we can just fulfill both at the same time. Now, interestingly enough, I just got an update from the fulfillment at Iconic Comics that the crossover should be fulfilled definitely before the end of the month. So it's going to go right from one to the other. And the good thing is that everything is in stock, which means that it should be a pretty rapid, easy fulfillment. I mean, it takes a while just to get all those books out, but it's no risk. We always try to cut out the most ambiguous part of a lot of these crowdfunding campaigns out so that people can just rest assured and sit back and kind of relax. In fact, I think our biggest problem that we have generally is a lot of impatient people who are like, hey, where's my book? Where's my tracking number? And it's like, well, you're going to get it. I mean, like, we have never not delivered so far.
You're guaranteed a book. You may not have made the coverage you wanted.
It's actually funny you say that, because I was one of those impatient people for a while.
Oh,
and
really?
Then today I come home and it was in the package was in the mailbox.
Oh, yeah. One of the big ones is people were like, where's my tracking number? And I'm like, in the last update, it says if you haven't gotten your tracking number, it means it hasn't shipped yet. Because it's automated. I mean, there's no human involved. The moment they put it into the label maker, it sends an email straight to the email address on file. So, I mean, I think it's a good problem to have when people are like, oh, I'm eagerly anticipating it. Because they know it's going to be arriving pretty soon, as opposed to like a year or 2 years from now. So, I mean, we try to cut that stuff out just so that people can just treat it as like a buying experience. I know we get a lot of flack from that, from people who are like, well, Kickstarter wasn't meant to be a pre-order platform, but it's like, hey, I mean, part of it is the necessity of having to differentiate ourselves from other people, because for better or worse, there are people who don't fulfill. And so we just needed that guarantee where it's like, no, just look at our track record. Do I like it? No, trust me, believe it or not, it would be easier for me to actually collect the money up front and then work on it. But I'm basically having to put the labor in on the front end to ensure that we can deliver something that is relatively unique to that crowdfunding space. And if Kickstarter has a problem with it, then they can talk to me and, you know, kick me off for basically saying, well, you're not funding a project. The project's already done. But I think they see that it's like, no, the work has been done, but the funding needs to be there in order to get the other stuff going, such as the printing and shipping and all of that, or to compensate us for the work that's already been done. So I think most people who are here are familiar with our body of work. So yeah, I mean, we're already funded, so there's no stretch goals. Anything extra given is just basically going into the next volume and the next campaign. So it's no pressure sales. We don't look at our backer listing or anything like that. We literally try to keep it as straightforward as possible. And yeah, we do talk about it every day, but it's not like a shill barrage, so to speak. I mean, I think besides this channel, I think we've only done 2 other shows like this whole time. We try to show that it's not necessarily our YouTube presence that generates it. A lot of it's just word of mouth and the organic outreach of people telling other people. So
That's
And
the
then
best
those
kind of
people-
advertising there is, really. Word of mouth is.
I know,
is
and
really
as a rule of
good.
thumb, because we don't want you to get outshine me and Puppetine, so
no,
we
of
try,
course not.
try to bring you on, at least once a couple months, so then people are salivating, they're impatient for the next Tim Lim appearance. That's right.
Wait. It's salvatating.
Salivating.
Try that again, Frog.
Salivating, I don't care.
I've heard it both ways, and they're
I've heard
both
it
wrong.
Three different ways I've heard that word.
Either way, don't make me kick you. This is my pond.
Wait, can you do that, or do I have the power? Or
It
can I
is
keep-
dark. It is dark in your swamp. That's for sure.
Yeah, he lives in like the dark.
I'm near the White House, that's why.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's funny.
I thought
They
what
don't-
was funny was in Eglinton's previous streams, you can go back like a few months and he'd be like, I don't want to talk politics, but and then
What?
he would just kind of have a hot take. But nowadays, I don't even think he cares anymore. He's just like, all right, I'm going to say it. And, he
Yeah,
says
he's-
something.
I gotta say that it's so easy to talk about it though, but if you're a comic book channel and you talk more about politics than the comic books, it kind of makes people not want to watch it because it's like, well, I came here for comic books, and you're ranting about something that has nothing to do with comic books.
Yeah.
But I get it though. I mean, like I said, it's we're all kind of upset with the gas prices being right now. I mean, I don't even have legs; I can't even drive, so I have to hop at.
You can't even reach the pedals.
Yes, but I mean.
You're stuck there, aren't you?
I can't imagine the price of getting a Lyft or an Uber right now because the gas prices, and it goes right down to you. And just like, the worst thing about Uber was getting assaulted by the driver, but now it's like you're getting charged even more.
The gas prices are so bad, I used to be able to fart for free. Now I got to pay someone 5 cents.
AOC? Oh, me too.
That was a joke.
He likes the Green Deal.
That's the greenhouse gas deal.
Green has to go-
Austin P. I didn't have a choice in the matter. He pretty much just sent me a bunch of threatening emails, and he said, "If I'm not on this stream, you're done for." So
Are you kidding me? I showed up to your house.
you can't get to my house. You don't have legs.
I'm talking with my mouth closed. You think I can't get to your house?
Besides, if you head
Oh.
down to where Zach lives, someone's putting you on a menu.
That's true. That's actually true. I haven't had frog legs in a minute. Wow.
You know what this means, so let's assume that this is like for real. Like everything that we're doing right now is quite literal. It means that Froggy, he doesn't have a mouth. He's like he's communicating telepathically in our minds,
hmm
and it just sounds like an auditory signal.
Doesn't Puppetine say that a lot? Like you and Puppetine have like a telepathic link.
That's what I'm thinking now.
I can't say that. This is a PG stream.
A PT stream?
PG.
Oh,
PG rated. Yeah.
I thought you meant
Pretty
parent
good.
teacher, like a conference.
Pretty good.
No.
No. Usually I put the bad thoughts in the Puppetine's head, which is kind of shocking because he works under the bridge doing unmentionable things we can't talk about on this family valued channel. With a guy smoking down there.
Fred
I got a
Flintstone.
breath.
Leave Fred alone. He deserves a break. He works at the rock quarry all day for Mr. Slate.
Oh,
He
so I have
has
a
Marty
question for
Rubble.
Eric Breen. I know that you gave up on comics recently, at least modern comics. You're still big into back issues, but was that before or after you had a chance to check out the Flintstones reboot that DC did a few years ago?
I did not read that,
Okay.
but I was at the time reading a lot of DC because I think that was before Bendis. So
Yeah, I think it was too. I want to say what, 2014 maybe?
I think that was because.
oh, that might be. So was that even before Rebirth?
I think it was yeah, I think it was.
Wow.
Because that
It
was
was,
the one where they gave them like some actually kind of serious storylines, didn't they?
Yeah, and I mean
Yeah.
it was experimental, but
Mhm.
they had a reference to like a genocide that he and Barney participated in, because apparently that's how they wiped out like the Neanderthals or something.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yeah, it was a kind of dark tongue in cheek subject matter, but the only thing in that series I picked up was like wacky races, and
Oh,
it
okay.
was like Mad
Yeah.
Max.
Uh-huh.
I ended up giving it to Mark because I thought he'd appreciate it more because he loves animation and cartoons and stuff like that. But the art was good, just a little bit too dark for my taste.
Mark Russell, whenever he writes anything, there's always something memorable about it, but it's
Mhm.
almost never in a good way.
Sure,
Here's something to think about.
sure.
Barney
Yeah.
Rubble and
Barney
Wilma
Rubble.
both only have black dots for eyes.
Yeah.
And then you
Okay.
look at Fred and Betty. Sorry, Fred and Betty. They have pupils.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
Wilma, and Barney, only have the little black dots.
I thought Barney had like the little circles that were empty on the inside.
Pie eyes.
Pie eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he had I could be wrong though.
Nope. Wonder is Betty Rubble Fred's sister?
No.
Boy, that would be a game changer. You know what? Actually, that was one of my favorite movies as a kid, the live action one where John Goodman.
Well,
played
yeah,
Fred
you should
Flintstone.
know.
Well,
I
John
told
Goodman was a great Fred Flintstone.
He was great. I actually remember liking everybody. Like I thought, what's her name?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell as Betty was good. I forget that Halle Berry is in that movie too all the time. Like young, like Halle
I
Berry.
just want to
before
point
Smart.
out that John
Yeah.
Goodman was a great stand-in for Eric Breen down there.
What now?
Yeah,
John Goodman was a great stand-in for you. He's like your understudy.
I still say all those deep fakes make me look like John Goodman. So
That's because you are John Goodman.
I'm not convinced that you're not like long lost twins.
6 degrees of John Goodman. I don't know.
6 degrees. No. I don't know. But anyway, so here's a question. It is October now. We are about almost 3 weeks away from Halloween. What is everybody watching for like any scary movies anybody's watching? Anything suspenseful or creepy? I know Mark watches a bunch of the
He
the
does.
scary stuff, but like is there anything that you're watching?
I used to watch that stuff, but now it's my wife and I here in the country in the big house, and
Yeah.
I scare pretty easily, so I just
I
quit
can
watching
relate
that
to
stuff.
Yeah.
But it was actually because of Englentine. I watched Werewolf by Night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that recently. Yeah, how'd you like it?
I liked it. I thought
Yeah.
it was really good.
I was surprised.
The only thing I told Mark, because I think he probably watched it earlier today, because I think he's doing a video with someone else, but I said that in 54 minutes they basically captured a feel of a Universal Monster Cinematic Universe better than Universal did with like 4 movies and like triple the budget or something.
Oh yeah.
So I thought they did pretty good. I like Elsa Bloodstone, like the comic character. I was surprised to see her show up in this incarnation. I didn't have a problem with her. I mean, I think the worst thing I can say is that she kind of came across as just rather cookie cutter. But I think that the filmography, the tone that they were going for, I thought that was all really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I was because you weren't here, I don't think, Frog. Pixel and I did a stream talking about because I just caught it.
Really?
Day last week.
I only saw Puppetine there.
Oh, was it Puppetine? They blend together after. Something about their faces. They blend together.
They broke quicker under the bridge. That's probably why.
Maybe that's it. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I love those old Universal black and white movies. Actually, one that I'm trying to watch is I'm bummed out. I found out it's not streaming anywhere, but I love to watch like the old Abbott and Costello movies, like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein's Monster. But this had a really cool. I love the black and white, like the old school 30s, 40s film vibe. It was really, really cool.
Physical media, son.
My parents might have physical media. They might have them on DVD. They've got a whole collection of them. I may have to go steal.
You know what?
Well, Vegman can back me up. I have a bleep ton of DVDs.
I've got a good little collection. It could stand to grow a little bit more.
I've also seen his stuff, and yeah, he's got a lot of VHS as well.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Yeah, next to your laser discs and your tablets. One
Yeah.
phone.
My stone tablets. Ting, 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 ting.
He's got the extra 5 commandments that were lost.
Back in his day, they had a stone TV, and people acted on the other side of it. You had to look through it.
Now, Zach, I've got, I said I probably have about 3,000, give or
Oh,
take,
wow.
movies and encompassing about 2,700 or so DVDs.
Holy cow!
But I have a horror section. Well, yeah, Tim, we used to have I've worked in record stores for 30 plus years, and we've sold DVDs for the vast majority of that time.
Uh-huh.
So I've had access to so many cheap and free, DVDs. It was pretty easy to amass that, but I held on to the older stuff because it seems that 90% of the people are satisfied with the same 10% of the stuff, and that's what's streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one set of shelves that has about 700 movies from 1969 and older, because I know no one's going to stream 90% of those ever.
You know what I could do? I just thought about this. I have a library card. I can go to my library. I know they have a bunch of black and white movies.
I have one
and
too.
old movies.
Eric Breen's house.
Actually, you're right though. I mean, I don't know how much they still have, because that's when
Spaced out. They let us sell that stuff too.
I was doing that for about a year when I had a way to copy movies.
Mhm.
I was going to the library and loading up on 40s, 50s, and 60s movies, and they had a real good selection back. It was damn near as good as Netflix at the time, when you could when Netflix discs would come in the mail.
I
don't
remember
even know if
those
you can
days.
still do that, but
Yeah, I still get them.
I kind of miss those days, actually, if I'm being honest. I liked it was simple. Now I can just sit there, and it takes you 30 minutes just to scroll and find something.
But
and
then be disappointed more often than not.
Yeah, unless it's something that I've already seen before, yeah. Or Cobra Kai.
That ties into what I was watching that was scary. It's called I Love Comics. You scroll and scroll and scroll until you find something that's actually about comic book. Hey!
And then find out that, oh, no, this one isn't either.
Yep.
What on earth? Anyway, no, actually, Ash is talking about Tubi, saying it's a decent streaming service for older stuff. I found out just even about 30 minutes ago, they actually do stream The Creature of the Black Lagoon, which is one of my favorite old monster movies.
Go on Extreme Movie Show. Check out Venkman and Professor Pixel did a Friday Night Flicks reaction to it.
I remember watching that, actually. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Time flies.
That was a while ago. But yeah, that's been one of my favorite monster movies for a long time. I love The Creature of the Black Lagoon. I heard they were going to remake it, but it'll probably suck if they do.
A friend of mine.
You should see The Sting then if you like The Creature from the Black Lagoon. You have
The
to
Sting?
No, you have to watch it on YouTube, but you need to look up the old Universal Studios Creature from the Black Lagoon, the musical.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That
it's
does
pretty
sound
neat.
like something I need to see.
I don't think it lasted for more than a year, but basically the effects that they used for the stage show were so complicated, and they had so many problems that they just shut it down because they couldn't get it to work.
It was a real musical?
It was a real musical.
Yeah. Okay, I thought there's a video on YouTube called The Wire, the musical.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually got 4 or 5 people from the show to do it. But yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about. But that was just a made for YouTube video.
Yeah,
so there's an actual. Wow, that'd be pretty cool. Actually.
Yeah. Go on YouTube and type in Creature from the Black Lagoon, the musical. So it was a stage show put on at Universal Studios Hollywood, and like I said, I think it ran for a year, approximately. But yeah, it was crazy. I saw it on a documentary, a YouTube documentary. But there was another one. What was it? What you were talking about, Breen. There's a guy, and this is back at the dawn of YouTube. But there was a guy who made Schindler's List the musical, Conan the Barbarian the musical. Terminator the musical, and what he would do is he would just basically make like a 3 or 4 minute song that kind of encompass the plot of those movies, but they're fantastic. The Conan the Barbarian the musical one is really, really good. It was a meme. It was a meme for a while, but the song that he sang is really catchy, so that's a good one for people to check out if they haven't.
Did you ever watch The Wire?
No.
Anybody here watch it? Well,
Yeah, but Pryor didn't move at all. It just kept staying there.
there was this character who was this is just really grungy chick named Snoop, and she always dressed like the guys, and she looked like a guy. But she came out. They got the actress back, and she came out in a dress, and she just looks at the camera and goes, "Man, this is some effed up shit." And so it's like four or 5 minutes of stuff like that. But if you hadn't seen the show, it's kind of lost. So I'll shut up.
My favorite musical is the Avengers one.
Do
Oh,
what?
No.
Smash!
No. Gosh.
Hey.
That's still the worst of the post-credit scenes that Marvel
Really?
has ever
She
put
called
out.
it- I
Yeah.
think she
Nope.
wants to hold her beer for her.
The Avengers musical bit is the worst because they had like 2 or 3 other better cutscenes that they left on the cutting room floor for that musical.
I'm just trying to see. I thought that actually was an actual play from Universal.
God, you just gave me a headache thinking about that whole musical montage.
Well, if you want to see
Doggone it.
if you want to see a good Avengers skit, look up the one Crowder did about 4 years ago. I think I turned
I've seen
Venkman
that
onto that, and that is an Avengers and a Captain America, and they are 2 of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. The Star Wars
I-
one even made me laugh, and I didn't know who any of the characters were.
Get a
I
quick
might
turn
have
to make
seen that one.
the things.
Wait, I know. Why are we talking about Venkman? Who is Venkman? He's not even here.
Yeah,
I-
where is he?
I don't know. He's
I
somewhere.
don't play that.
He's like, I'm not playing by your
He'll be
rules."
willing to come on a stream where there's only one live human talking, and the rest of us use cartoon avatars. But acknowledging that they're an actual creature? No way, no sir.
Too
I will.
far.
I mean, that's that's like asking me to respect your pronouns. I will try, but if I fail,
That's not really Elmo. That's this other guy. He runs it for all the kids. He's like, he goes like, Santa Claus isn't real. Deal with it, Squirt.
well, speaking of,
Okay.
Violent Night looks good.
Oh, it does. I saw the trailer for that.
Oh, you know what's even better
Until
than
I
that?
found out who was playing Santa Claus, and I went,
Austin
that-
P. I
Dying
haven't,
to the tune of Les Miserables.
I haven't seen the How It Should Have Ended videos in so long. Those are really funny. I used to watch those all the time.
So, what's even better than Silent Night? Just go watch The Fat Man. It's the same damn movie.
That's the one. That's the one that kept reminding me of was
It's
the Fat
better.
Man. Yeah, that's the one where Mel Gibson plays Santa, right?
Yes.
Maybe I just need to do a double feature. Watch Fat Man and then watch Violent Night.
Violent
yeah.
Night.
Violent
Silent-
Night, yeah. David Harbour plays Santa, but he's like deadly Santa.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
It looks like he has to like save some kids from kidnappers, maybe. But it does look pretty funny.
that's a little on the nose.
A little on the nose. Eric, would say- I don't know, Ash. I think it would actually be pretty awesome. He's
Well, if
just
I-
there, just deadpanning and be
No,
like,
if I'd been on the Muppet Show, I'd have been up in the balcony with my 2 contemporaries.
hmm
"That's true."
Stadler and Waldorf.
Waldorf.
Hey, what do you need the puppets? He's the same age.
My favorite bit with those 2 is in Muppet Treasure Island. It's like near the end, and Kermit and Miss Piggy fall off a cliff, and they catch them because they're the mastheads on the ship, and so they catch them like, Waldorf, we did it! We saved the frog and the pig! And the other one's like, well, it was too late to save the movie. It's my favorite joke that they do. I've seen Muppet Treasure Island more times than anybody probably should.
There's so I'm guessing people who know the Muppets better than I do for sure. I'm pretty sure that there's a point where they make reference to the fact that they're not real, but there's a part in Disney World in the Muppet Show, and I remember like it kind of disturbed me for a while. So Stadler and Waldorf at the top of the balcony, and when you're leaving the auditorium, you can overhear them talking, and one of them goes, "Hey, Waldorf, looks like there's time for there's an intermission before the next show starts. You want to go grab a popcorn?" And he goes, "We can't, you idiot. We're bolted to the seats." And I just thought to myself, like, they just acknowledge that they're like not real. That's from an existential point of view. That's really like effed up.
I know. Oh, that's funny. I haven't been to the Muppet show in Disney World in a long
It's so
time.
bad.
It's
bad.
Lorenzo
I know Eglantine likes it. I think Mark likes it too. But oh my
I
gosh, it's literally been the
remember
same
liking
show.
it. I remember liking it. I'm like Lorenzo. I like the Muppets. I did watch a lot of the old school. I actually really enjoyed the newer Muppet movie, the one with Amy Adams and Jason Segel. However he
I
says
like
it.
the one. I like the first one. I didn't like the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel was weird. I wanted to like it. I watched it twice, but yeah, it was weird. The first one was really good.
Now, I might be getting these confused, but I'm pretty sure that they used the Muppets in early Saturday Night Live episodes, like in '75, because I think Jim Henson was hanging around with them at the time. I'm almost positive that there would be Muppet sketches occasionally on Saturday Night Live in the first year.
I did not know that.
And here's another fun fact: Saturday Night Live used to be funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen an SNL skit in, since 2014 maybe.
Well, there hasn't been one since 2014.
Well, I think so. It shows my age too. I quit watching when Will Ferrell showed up.
Oh wow! Okay.
I distinctly remember thinking, I don't think this guy's funny at all, and that's it. I quit. So I think the last time I really watched like every episode was with like Norm Macdonald, David Spade, Chris Farley was still alive at the time, Tim Meadows was there. To me, like that was Saturday Night Live, and then the moment they started introducing like Sherry O'Terry, Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, I was like, oh my gosh, this is not funny.
It's amazing how many people in those early 90s casts were either center or conservative.
I think with the exception of Tim Meadows, I think they're all fairly very right of center or libertarian. I mean, like you look at Norm Macdonald, you look at some of his political views that he shared like towards the end of his life. I mean, like, so I found like several interviews where he's on with obviously his friendship with Dennis Miller is pretty well known, but there was a time when he was interviewing or he was talking to like Ann Coulter, and I mean he had some very, very I guess traditional perspectives on things. Turns out same thing with like Adam Sandler, David Spade.
Yeah.
So that was a time when
Rob Schneider
for sure.
Now.
Yeah.
Look at what's his name? Norm Macdonald on The View.
Oh yeah, that's a great episode.
Norm Macdonald, I just like.
What, you didn't know that? He's a killer. He killed people.
I love. There was
I thought everybody knew that.
I saw all these clips where he kept talking about O.J. Simpson, and it's just like the funniest stuff.
Oh, that's how he got kicked off of not Saturday Night. That's how he got kicked off of Weekend Update, was because he wouldn't stop making those jokes.
He kept going.
And he was hammering the Clintons pretty hard too.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah. Yeah. When I first got into SNL, it's like there was Jimmy Fallon and Tina Fey and a bunch of like the newer. This was back in like 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
And then when they left, I was like, it's not funny anymore. But then I went back and I started watching a few of the older seasons with like what you were saying, like Norm Macdonald or David, even going back further actually to like Dan Aykroyd. And I was like, oh, it's actually better the further back you go.
Oh yeah.
And Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? They had say a word and basically and so he says he calls them basically N-word and he calls them dead honky.
Oh yeah, that clip.
Oh, Richard Pryor.
Pryor and
the word association.
Word association, the best I've ever seen on that, and you'll never see it.
And they did not use the N-word. He said when he called him, he said something. He goes honky. And then honky, he goes, jungle bunny, dead honky. and no one said a word. Because that was, the Dean Martin roasts were still going at that time. and they would do that stuff all the time, but they never any coarse language.
Yep.
Except
Yeah.
for Jane, you ignorant slut.
I see. Everyone says that. I always think of The Office when he goes, "Dwight, you ignorant slut." When he's standing, and he's depressed and he's trying to get attention, so he makes everyone think he's gonna jump off the building, but there's a trampoline there, and then he's like, "Michael, depression? Isn't that just a fancy word for being bummed out? Dwight, you ignorant slut."
Like, there's so many of them on there. Like, you know,
Mariah's correcting me. I guess that's what got dead honky. Because I guess Jungle Bunny got honky honky.
Ah.
So that's okay. So I didn't realize. Yeah, that you're right. They did.
You can find it on YouTube if you really want to look it up. It's a little distorted, but it's still funny. It's just the fact that as he said, Lorenzo's saying SNL used to be equal opportunity offenders. They not everyone. Now it's just basically with symptoms on same thing. We live in a world where you can only offend one type of person, and you have to be the correct person, the correct skin color or race in order to offend people. It's ridiculous. But
I remember Eddie Izzard. Whatever happened to that guy? I think I saw him in an Oceans movie. I think that's the last time I ever saw him in.
Pretty sure he's dead.
Oh, is he?
Wow.
I might be thinking of. I hope I'm thinking of a different guy. He didn't seem that old.
he changed his name to Trunks.
That can I wasn't expecting that.
Like, geez, oh my gosh, was Ocean's 12 that long ago? God.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No,
You heard
he's still alive.
Angela Lansbury died today.
I heard about that. Yeah. Dang, it's crazy.
Nope, he is not sharing space with Generalissimo Franco. That was an old running gag. He was a Spanish general that was killed in the revolution in the early 70s, and so they would say, and in the news, Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead. And they just got laughs every Saturday night. Speaking of showing one's age.
Oh no.
Oh, boy.
He's leaving.
He's going on camera.
We're Evil Black Cat. This is your time. Be here with the jokes. Just kidding.
Out of respect, Evil Black Cat is not here tonight because of Zach's on camera.
He's not here because he knows I'm a dog person. That's why.
No, he's not here because Zach's not wearing a bow tie.
That's true. I was thinking about that earlier today. Like, everything I do, like my Twitter name is Bowtie Zach. And I was like, all this stuff has bow ties all over it, but I never wear a bow tie anymore. I need to.
And you don't dress like the Flash either.
I don't. I used to have a Flash shirt, and that was years ago. I need to up my image. I'm here just wearing just like a normal shirt and a ball cap.
You want to know how you make him feel insecure? Just call him the Beaver. Leave it the Beaver.
The Beaver? This isn't even a beaver ball cap. Like, that's a certain type of ball
Every
cap.
time I go on camera with him and say, hey, I like your hat there. It's kind of cool. What's going on, Beav?
So, Zach, have you at least seen the superhero skit from Saturday Night Live's, I think, first or second season?
I don't
Superman?
think so, no.
It's all they just mix kind of like John Belushi plays the Hulk and he's coming out of the bathroom and
No, I haven't seen that one.
and
no.
they're and Garrett Morris plays Ant-Man, and that's where basically the punchlines come from. He goes, and who are you? And he goes, I am Ant-Man, and it's like, what do you do? I shrink down like an ant. I talk to ants.
Okay,
And that's if you're ever wondering why that old man was in the first Ant-Man movie, that's why.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I
gotta say though, the best one though is when the death of Superman. They're attending his funeral. That is one of my favorite skits with them.
It's more recent, but a skit that did make me chuckle when they had Jeremy Renner on the show and they did like this little Avengers skit, and everybody else is playing different Avengers, but Jeremy Renner is playing Hawkeye. But it's realistic Hawkeye who runs out of arrows after like 12 shots. And so everyone's fighting and doing stuff. And they're like, Hawkeye, what are you doing? It's like, I'm out of arrows. I'm done. I'm tapped out. It's like, but you only killed 12 of them. He's like, yeah, you're welcome. He's just like standing there.
There was this
That's pretty good.
Breen will like this one. So I used to think it was Norm Macdonald, and it's not. I've been looking everywhere for it, so it had to have been Colin Quinn. I don't think it was Kevin Nealon, but it was the funniest thing I'd heard on Weekend Update. And it goes something like this. It's like, over the weekend, Cartoon Network's broadcast was momentarily interrupted with a 12-minute clip from the Playboy channel instead. Children across the world said it was the best Flintstones episode they'd ever seen.
That's good. I love Weekend Update. When it's funny, it's the best part of the show. I love Weekend Update. That's
By the
awesome.
way, so we glossed over Angela Lansbury passing, and here's a fun fact: the Manchurian Candidate. She plays Lawrence Harvey's mother.
The original one you're talking
Yes.
about, right? Okay.
Yes, she was 3 years older than him.
Oh, jeez.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That reminds me of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where Sean Connery plays Harrison Ford's dad, and I think he's only 12 years older than Harrison Ford.
I think so.
Like, you're right.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Golden Boy with Lee J. Cobb and William Holden?
Mm-mm.
No.
Like Lee J. Cobb plays his father. I think they were either one or just 1 or 2 years apart. But
Okay.
Lee J. Cobb looked, he looked old enough to make it believable. But that's that Hollywood magic.
That's how they do it. I forgot that Angela Lansbury played Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast. That's where I know her from.
She was in a movie Gaslight in 1944. That's how far back she went.
Dang, that's crazy.
And she was an adult in the movie. So I mean, she 18, but
Yeah, but
she
still,
was
yeah.
she was a very pretty woman in her youth. It's just that anybody that's my age or younger only knows her as an old woman, and I'm
Yeah.
old, so she was old for a long time.
You're
Well-
not old, Breen.
Speaking of death,
I am in these quarters.
Oh boy, here he goes.
Yu-Gi-Oh creator Kazuki Takahashi is revealed that he drowned while trying to save the fellow beachgoers from a riptide.
Wait,
I heard about that. That's so
you-
sad.
the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh drowned?
He's dead.
Wow.
Yep.
Dang. What on earth, dude? That's rude. Dang. But what? So he drowned trying to save someone else from a riptide? That's
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
Jeez. That's crazy. Yeah, well, what was it last week? I think it was Kim Jong-gi died from a heart attack. I think.
Oh, that
He
was
the
sad.
Korean artist. Because I recently, within the last year or so, became like a really big.
You
fan
know,
of
they go on
his
3.
work.
So, Eric Breen, be careful.
I met Kim Jong-gi in 2015 at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh wow.
So he had this thing where he's like a human printer. That's what he's known for.
Yeah.
And he's taught classes on how to do it. And so there's a couple people who have accomplished it. So one of them is Matt Weldon, the human printer.
Really?
So, yeah, he's like an American version of Kim Jong-gi. Just incredible.
I can see that. Yeah.
He does it all with a Pilot B2 pen. Like, it's the craziest thing. So whenever Matt and I are hanging out, like if we're eating somewhere, he doesn't like doing it because he's too humble, but I'll tell him, like, if the waiter or waitress gives us good service, I'll be like, Matt, do your thing, like draw something on the ticket, and he'll do it. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. But anyway, Kim Jong-gi, you would pay him $50, and as long as you bought a sketchbook from him, he would draw something in it. But the rule was you were not allowed to tell him what to draw. He would just draw whatever. So my friend and I, we each got something. So came back in about 2 hours, and sure enough, he's like, oh, here's your thing. Very, very humble, very nice man. And I opened mine, and it's this really cool drawing of a Japanese samurai. And I'm like, okay, it's fairly generic, but yeah, it looks cool. I was like, what did you get? And my friend opens his, and it's a tiger wearing an astronaut helmet riding a motorcycle. And he's like, I was like, what is that? And he's like, I don't care. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
And then there's I can tell you after the stream, but there was a third friend of ours, and he got something, but it was too lewd for me to repeat on on the air, but it was definitely wild. And it was definitely, no matter what, it was a talented drawing.
Yeah, I've seen videos and like recordings of him drawing like this huge landscape type picture. Yeah, it's crazy because he doesn't map out his drawing or anything. He doesn't do like stick figures or anything and then fill them in. He just goes just makes it up as he goes. It's awesome.
Let me ask Breen. So there is another American artist for comics who passed away recently, within the last 5 years, and he also had the same ability where he could draw straight to ink without pencils. Do you know who that was?
No idea.
Bernie Wrightson.
I did not know that.
Yeah, really interesting talent that he had. And in several interviews, he said, in his mind, it was like his brain was a projector, and he could see the image in front of him, and all he had to do was fill in the lines.
I need to keep my eraser handy when I'm writing my name.
I know, same here.
Right. I know. I look at my sketchbooks that I have, and then I see people like Kim Jong-gi or Matt Weldon. I'm like, you got a long way to go, buddy.
Well, some of it is just like in the case of Matt. I think he was just blessed with it. Because talking to him, I think he's always been able to do it. But he has a really fertile imagination. I forgot which artist said it, but they said, like, if you want to learn how to draw, learn how to memorize things. Because the more that you can memorize things, the less reference you have to use, and you can just draw straight from memory. We let Matt draw a lot of guns because he has like a very detailed knowledge of how weapons work, and same thing with machinery and parts and stuff like that. It's just it's uncanny. I have no clue. I always have to use references for like buildings and animals and nature. My God, I hate drawing nature. Like, it's the worst. Trees all look the same to me, so I'm always having to do it. But like,
there's an Englentine joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, after you die, who's going to draw Kamen America?
I don't know. We got a couple people lined up who can fill in those shoes pretty easily.
Look at some of those. We've seen a lot of cheesecake on Instagram.
Yeah. We have a lot of artists who honestly could fill that in pretty well. So, in the case of Kamen America, I know he's going to say the opposite, but if anyone enjoys that book, you enjoy it because it's Mark who's writing it. And I mean this in all sincerity. You could easily substitute me with another artist of equal caliber, and you would still enjoy it. So I'm just saying, from an artist's point of view, even though, like, it's that stupid age-old argument of, oh, who's more important, the artist or the writer? It's like, well, the same thing with a human body. You need a brain and a heart to function. They have to coexist for you to actually operate. But speaking as the artist, you can have a good writer and a terrible artist, and the work will still speak on its own.
So you're saying if we get Robert Ross, we replace you?
No.
Yeah, it would still be good. Like,
that?
It would still be good. But I mean, case in point, I know it's like sacrilege. I don't like Steve Dillon's artwork. Rest in peace, because I know he passed away not too long ago. I tolerated The Punisher because it didn't matter what I thought of his artwork. I thought the writing from Garth Ennis was really, really good. Conversely, there has been a lot of artists who I like where teamed up with a poor writer, like the work is inexcusable. Like, it's an unreadable book, and at that point you're just getting it because you like the art. I like Joe Mad, and I think I might have said it on this stream at some point. Ultimates 3 is one of the worst books I own. I only keep it because Joe Mad, I have like everything he's worked on, and the art's really good, but I'm not going to defend the book. It is frankly a really terrible.
It's a really bad story.
It is a very bad story. Shame on you, Jeff Loeb. I don't know what you.
Dang it, Jeff. Why?
I'll tell you why you're irreplaceable, Tim, as the artist on Kamen America. If you were to be replaced, I'm sure we would have zero chance of getting that person on this stream.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, that's it. We couldn't say that.
Well, why? Because I couldn't speak English?
No, because nobody else would have us.
That's not true. There was I might have to tell you some. My gosh, I don't think he's gonna mind me saying it, but Englentine had an opportunity to get Chuck Dixon on the show. I arranged it. Chuck was going to show up. Englentine missed the appointment. And I don't think the opportunity has ever resurfaced again. But I know Chuck. I might have to just give him a call and say, hey, it's been like a year. I think Englentine would like to have you on. So what is the old saying? A lot of opportunities just revolve around people having to show up when opportunity knocks. And that was one of those things where he just didn't show up. And I think like a day later he was like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. I'm like, you had the opportunity to talk to Chuck Dixon. I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Well, he's also, I know Wes tried to get him to do an aficionados and wasn't able to do that. So I don't know if he was just really busy at the time but
there was a time too where there was one year where we didn't see Englentine when we went to Orlando. And I was blowing up his Twitter, like, we are here, like, we're going to be here for 5 days. He never got to me until we had left. So it's like, Englentine, come on, man. Like, you can have some good guests on your show. A lot of people will show up, but you got to show up to your own show, man.
We have access. We can take over his channel.
Well, or if you could arrange it, why not do it here?
Exactly.
I can talk to Chuck.
And I'll make sure he has a human interview him. I don't think he wants
do not show up with the frog. He is Chuck is a great guy. Yeah, but that might be a little bit too weird for him.
That might be a bridge too far. Yeah.
No,
frog is an acquired taste.
Bridge too far. We don't speak about the bridges. The Madison County or Puppeting County.
Like and unlike Englentine, Venkman doesn't kill off industry guests when they come on.
Well, right. Eric, have you had a chance to talk to him? Because I know that you pop up in a lot of other streams too. So I don't know.
I've never met him. I told Wes, I said, if you get him on, I'm on that week.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm busy this week, but this is my promise. All right, so everyone hears it here for the first time. I'm gonna try and call Chuck tomorrow. What time do you guys want him to be on this show? Next week.
Next week?
Yes.
What's his schedule like as far as
it's typically free in the evenings. Like I have never had trouble calling him on the phone.
I would say have him come on around if he can. I mean, I don't know what if he's Central or Eastern.
He is in Florida.
So it'll be Eastern.
Eastern. Yes.
We could have him on earlier if he wants to. I mean,
is 9 o'clock too late?
No. He'll do it.
Nine. How about 9 o'clock next Tuesday? Then you guys
next Tuesday. I will
just blow through your top 10 lists and.
I will reach out to him late tonight, and I will give him a call tomorrow, and we'll try and lock that in. Because if he can come on and talk to Eric Breen, I will tune in just to listen to the two of you talk. Because Chuck Dixon has one of the best YouTube channels. He does nothing but answer fan mail. Like that's all he does. But he'll tell like the wildest stories. Like he did one a week ago where it was like, I've been trying to avoid this, but y'all keep on asking me, why did Rob Liefeld fire me over Captain America? And he answered it, and I was like, that's one of the craziest stories I've ever heard.
Now, Tim, are you not able to make it next Tuesday?
That's one of those ones where I just want to sit back and listen. I don't want to participate.
Well,
because
couldn't you like make the introduction and excuse yourself?
Yes, I can do that for sure.
Yeah, like I was just coming on to say hi tonight. And in fact, I ran my mouth so much, Ash had to point it out. So you don't have to leave.
No, because the problem is that I like comics, but over the years, I've noticed that I'm a complete normie. Like, I might have been the nerd in school, but I am nowhere near as nerdy as some of these people I meet on the internet because my knowledge of comics is a tip of an iceberg. So I like to listen a lot because it's like, that's a lot of insight that I did not know of, and it becomes a more intriguing conversation. But I don't mind making the introduction. That's what was going to happen when it was Englentine, me, and Chuck. Was I was going to make that intro, but then Englentine didn't show up to the dance. So that was the end of that.
Now, Tim, when you talk to Chuck, tell him when he comes on to ask me a bunch of questions about the Turtles, the Transformers, and G.I. Joe.
Well, okay. So G.I. Joe, he actually wrote the revamp, and Transformers, he actually wrote a parallel universe story called Hearts of Steel. I did not know he wrote that story. One of the more interesting things he said was someone had asked him, like, what is one of the weirdest things you ever written that was probably not comics related? he wrote a children's book. It was actually Winnie the Pooh, and he did it under a pseudonym. But it was I forgot what the distinction was. I think he said like the distinction was it was like the first and only time that Winnie the Pooh ever like fired a gun or something. It was just such a crazy story. But for anyone in the chat, just look for Ask Chuck Dixon. It's on YouTube. I think he posts one video a week, and all he does is open and answer fan mail, and he tells like really crazy stories that I had never heard of before.
I would say if we could also get Joe Corral at the same time, that would be like the most nerdiest stream ever.
Do you just want to have just like all the comic knowledge people on the stream?
Why not?
I don't know Joe Corallo that well. I've seen him on Wes's channel.
I spent 3 hours on the phone with him yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I think Joe and Chuck might have actually been on at the same time at one point. So if we can do this, here's what I'll do. I'll email Chuck tonight and I'll call him tomorrow. Let's see if we can get this 9 o'clock on Tuesday. And then if you can get Joe on, then, that would be two paths intersecting. We'll try and make it happen. But I'm pretty sure I can get Chuck for next Tuesday.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, if you can contact him, then contact the human counterpart of this, whatever this is up in the left-hand corner. Then I'll call Joe and see if I can line him up.
Okay, let's do that. Like I said, I've had 100% success rate with Chuck. Whenever I fill in on the radio station, we have him as a guest. Like I'll call him and I'll tell him, hey, we're doing radio. If you don't mind, I'm going to give you a call at this time. And he's always showing up. So I am pretty sure. So I guess it would be a first for the England team for I Love Comics to have Chuck Dixon on. I think that's great. Like I know that England team probably has a crap ton of questions that he wants to ask him.
Well, we're talking about doing it on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but England team might show up just if he knows.
Yeah, if he shows up.
Yeah. If he shows up. Yeah.
Well, we'll say hi to him in the chat.
No, what you do is you make fun of him. He's like, "Send me the link," and you're like, "No, you missed the first date, the first time."
I thought you were asleep.
We'll just say that. We got an interesting question from the Angle team in the chat. I Love Comics.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, so after you pass away, who's going to take over writing your books?
No, don't.
Oh no. Chuck is sharp. He's I don't know how old he is, but he's just such a sharp dude. Like doesn't miss a beat. He's more articulate than I am. I stutter and I trip over my words, but he always it must be a writer thing. He just is very eloquent. He gets right to the point. He doesn't mince words. Again, he reminds me of Mark. There's just a lot of elegance in the way he speaks, but very interesting guy to talk to. I mean, last time I talked to him on the phone was earlier this year, and we were just talking about kind of our families and what we did for the holidays and stuff like that. Just one of the friendliest people. And you guys know this. I am not a fan of industry pros. I'm very critical of them. I think their whole culture is warped and perverted, both left and right. He is one of those examples where it's like, how they say never to meet your heroes. He's the real deal. I mean, he talks and acts like a normal person. There's no ego to him whatsoever. And it's very refreshing to speak to him. So I think you guys would love having his company just to kind of tell campfire stories.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I could listen to a few of those for sure.
I have a friend that watches a lot of his podcasts or whatever the stuff is that he does, and he talks very highly of him. Of course, my friend is also he's even more. He's way more conservative than me, so I think he's got that. He likes Chuck's politics as well as his writing.
Well, Chuck, it's the way he talks about his politics. He's very non-threatening. It's very matter of fact. He gets right to the point. There's not a lot of hyperbole in terms of what he says. Like, for example, you do have people who are like, I was blacklisted. And when Chuck says it, like, he backs it up by saying, like, this is what I mean by that. Like, here's some examples of how that had happened. And you can tell that he's not an instigator. He's not a rabble rouser. He's the type of person where it's like, look, I will work for you. I don't care what your politics are, but I am privy to my own set of values. And you might not like that. I'm not going to insert it into the work, but You just have to understand as a human being, it is how it's going to be. But he's just so friendly and non-threatening that it's like, no, like he's essentially like a living Santa Claus. Um,
Living Santa Claus.
I like that.
he looks like Santa Claus too.
I've seen pictures of him. Yeah, he's kind of
Yeah.
Santa-ish.
Very jolly. He has a very pleasant laugh. When I talked to him on the phone the first time, his wife picked it up, and it turns out that she and I actually have like a mutual connection in terms of like where our roots are. So I don't know, just outstanding stand-up guy. I'm edifying him too much. I'm pretty sure people in the chat are very familiar with Chuck, but he's this whole time I've known him has just.
Does he still hold the North American record for most comic book pages written?
I think he does. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
He does. Yes.
That's something I never thought about. I never thought about as a record, like most pages. That's something.
There's
Wow.
a guy. I think he's coming up next year. I think it'll be Fred Perry. Fred Perry with Antarctic Press will have a record, and the record is it's the most pages written, colored, and drawn by a single person.
Oh, okay.
in
So
North
he
America.
writes and does the art at the all the time. Oh wow. Okay.
Of Gold Digger.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's issue 300.
I've seen that. Yeah, I see that pop up every now and then when I look at the new comics. I see it. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's got a high issue count.
Yeah. So couple of milestones coming up here, but I think Chuck has already achieved his most pages written by a single writer, and it might be worldwide. I mean, like he's written a lot of stuff.
And think about how big that lead would be if he hadn't been blacklisted from the Big Two.
The good thing is that he told me that, or he mentioned it in one of his streams. The good thing is even after he stopped getting work from the Big Two, he never quit writing, and he never quit writing comics. So he's always had some form of employment, whether that be industry or independent. I mean, like nothing stops a guy. He's like a fast moving train. So he never rests on his laurels. He's always writing something, whether he's just so prolific.
But I would imagine that the pace head was slowed down because now in the situation he's in where he's got I know he's worked for some smaller companies, but I know he's also done his own, whatever it is you guys do. And there's more responsibility and there's more things to take his time that would take his time away from writing other things, as opposed to when he was just writing, when he was like work for hire.
Right. No, he did mention that, how things kind of slowed down to a trickle, but it never stopped. But you're right. He even talks about how he has a lot of unpublished scripts, so like scripts that he wrote just because it's like, well, I'm being paid no matter what, I might as well just write. And it's just like stuff that will never see the light of day. In fact, like he normally does it around Christmas time. Like I think if you donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital and you show him the receipt, like there's some stuff that he'll show you. Like I think one of them, and don't quote me on this, but I'll have to go back and watch and listen to that episode he did last week. I think one of them's actually like the unpublished script from the Liefeld Captain America, if I'm not mistaken. I know one of them from last year was the Denny O'Neil Batman Bible. So if you donated like as little as $5 to St. Jude's, he would actually show you the PDF of what Denny O'Neil gave to all the writers with Batman, which is like, this is the Bible. Like this is what Batman is. This is who his character is. These are the hard and fast rules of what he needs to do and what he can't do. Just really interesting stuff. And I think enough time has passed where he just doesn't care. Chuck is like, the editors who held on to this stuff, like they're either long gone or the company is so indifferent to what happened before that they don't even care like what people see anymore. But
because kids back in the day, all the writers of a particular group of books is like the Batman books would go on retreats to discuss what they were going to do in an upcoming event, so it would be coordinated.
Right.
What a crazy idea that was back then.
Isn't that bonkers?
My next question: does anybody know Doug Mensch, Bob Layton, or Jim Shooter?
I met Jim Shooter last February at a comic convention, but I don't know him.
These guys, I would love.
I know a few people that met Jim Shooter.
Doug Mensch for his Moon Knight, Bob Layton, Iron Man, Jim Shooter for running the best Marvel era.
Doug Mensch, I remember from a back issue article, he has a friend, I guess an acquaintance / friend or whatever, would come over and interview him for the magazine, and they made the agreement beforehand not to talk politics because the guy that did the article on him was very much a conservative, and Doug is an old school liberal, so they probably have more in common now. But yes, I thought that was kind of an interesting dynamic they had.
Like I said, I'd love to have a lot of the older writers and creators on interviews because they're much more appealing to talk to me personally, about comic books than any of those new writers.
That's not true.
Although I would say I would still like to have Mark on sometime.
Haven't you had him on once?
I don't think so. Have we?
I think I'm getting him confused with Eglantine because he's done a couple with Eglantine.
You know,
doesn't mean I'm Eglantine.
I don't know about you, Frog, but I just want Mark to follow me on Twitter, and every time I get a notification of a new follower, I get excited. And it turns out it's always just another porn bot.
I'll tell him right now to follow you.
I'm kidding. But
Mark, stop watching your scary movie and follow this guy.
Vegman and I are getting inundated with porn bots.
Oh.
I don't know what y'all are doing. I
think it's from. I'm guessing it's from following a couple of those like cosplay girl things on Twitter.
Oh no,
that might be it.
They disappear.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
It's just like warts; they just randomly appear.
They just randomly appear.
And I know so little about social media. Venkman had to teach me how to. They said if you block them, they're gone. I go, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that it's like disappeared into the ether.
Well, hey, Vinkman had to teach me how to do all this extra StreamYard stuff. I had no idea all this stuff existed.
I heard he also taught you how to Dougie.
No.
Well, it'd be funny. What if they're not bots? They're actually like really randy women, and they just want you, Breen, and you're just like blocking it.
That would fall under the category of story of my life.
Actually, one of they're all his daughters.
No, it's so Breen is like, no, I know that they're not bots, that they're real people, but it's like, come on, like I'm so tired of all these women just
don't want all the attention.
Yeah, I just want to sit back and crack a cold one and watch the game. My God.
and by cold one, of course, I mean Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah.
I thought you're a Coke Zero guy.
What's the deal with that, Breen? My wife is addicted to those too.
Well, yeah. My deal is that's as strong a beverage as I can do.
You can diet do. It's as strong as beverage as you can diet.
Well, I said, I realized. I said, my sobriety is older than some of the people I do live streams with. Nobody here, but it's close.
Oh, that's funny.
Do any of us drink?
Good,
I don't drink.
Occasionally. Not very often. It's never anything super strong.
I quit drinking 2 George Bush presidents ago.
That
might be. Oh gosh, that's close to older than me.
George Bush.
Well, 92 was when I retired.
Oh, okay, 92. Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, that's like I was born in 88, so I'm almost there. So. But no, I was gonna say I think the only time I've ever experienced any side effects is if I had like maybe I think one night I had like 5 rum and Dr. Peppers. Like that would, like I don't do hard stuff or anything like that.
I had a Monster energy drink today. I don't think I'm gonna sleep until like 4 in the morning.
I had that and then I ran around.
Yeah, Monsters will mess up your sleep schedule. I drank them so much in college. After like midterms or finals, I would go on like a month break from them just to purge my system. Because if I didn't do that, my body, I would just get so used to it that I would start drinking Monsters and it wouldn't affect me.
What is it? If I drink 2 Monsters, and I used to do that when I would do road trips, I would have like the worst headache imaginable. But 1 Monster I can typically tolerate, but I do that to stay awake on the road. Now today, I just happened to be like at a convenience store, and I was like, oh, they actually restocked these Java bean ones. I think I'll just grab one. And that was around like noon. And here we are, like it's like almost 11 o'clock over here, and I'm just like, geez, like I'm like wide awake. I'm just gonna keep on working until I crash, essentially.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I have like my sister got me hooked on the G Fuel powder. Because she watches PewDiePie, and PewDiePie drinks this G Fuel stuff. It's like this little powder mix that you stir in and you shake with water, and it's supposed to be like an energy drink. So she gets so much of it. She gave me some of her surplus, and so now it's like I can have 1 cup of it, and I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm not closing. I'm not gonna close my eyes for the next 5-6 hours. So
Yeah.
And G Fuel.
it's pretty good though. It's not terrible. So
I like that other stuff. I think I forgot C2 or C4. It's the Skittles flavored one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw
Never
that
had
at
that.
Kroger, and I nearly puked up the rainbow.
They are
No.
delicious though.
There's NOS, then there's Rockstar.
Rockstar's pretty
Rockstar.
good.
Rockstar's
Both
alright. Didn't do full. I've had Bang. I've had a few of the Bang flavors. Those were interesting.
The cotton candy.
Yeah, that one I wouldn't recommend.
I wouldn't recommend it. This just sounds gross.
Yeah,
You know, the sad thing is we could just easily be talking about ice cream flavors or Pringles flavors.
Skittle
I
flavor
love Pringles. Holy cow.
best ice
making me
cream
hungry.
flavor. I just had. I found out my Baskin Robbins had cold brew coffee Oreo ice cream, and it is the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. That's probably my new favorite flavor. It's
I
pretty
love this
fantastic.
stuff. It's called it's Pepsi Nitro. Pepsi Nitro.
Yeah,
It's so
Pepsi
good.
Nitro. Yeah, because like you can pour it into a glass and it gets like the. It's really good.
It's
I like
smooth.
That.
It's
very smooth.
It's almost like a cream soda.
Hmm. Yeah,
Really
that stuff
awesome.
is I've always liked Pepsi more than Coke, which my in-laws
me too.
They find it hilarious. They
Yeah, me
always have
too.
their fridge stocked with Coke, and then when I come over for the holidays, they're like, "Hey, we had to go to the store and get Pepsi just for you. Hope you appreciate that."
I'm just saying that I love Coke.
No, not that kind of Coke.
Oh.
Although, fun fact, in the early 1900s, Coca-Cola was made with cocaine.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know that. I went to a Coca-Cola museum.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That gum, you guys got me hungry. I'm at Walmart looking to see what ice cream flavors are at my local Walmart. They have Twix ice cream. Holy cow!
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
gonna pick this up tomorrow. It's oh, this sounds so incredible. It's a Twinkie iced latte.
What?
Yeah, so it's
That is pretty good.
an iced coffee that's Twinkie flavored.
That sounds. Where is that from? That's not from Walmart, is it?
It's Walmart, yeah, Walmart.com. Ooh,
Really?
Snickers ice cream. My gosh.
That's
Good.
really good.
Fires?
The Snickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're bars. I mean, it's like eating a Snickers bar when it's ice cream instead of the It's,
Nice.
they're expensive.
Yeah,
so I get it.
M&M
Wow.
ice cream. My
Well,
gosh.
it's called a Briars brand.
Yeah, Breyers. It's
Briars.
yeah, or Breyers. B-R-E-Y-E-R.
We're it both ways now.
Oof. So I do intermittent fasting, so I only eat one meal a day,
Oh, okay.
but I pig out. So I'm just like, what am I gonna eat tomorrow?
That's
now
what
it's
I
recommending
do,
Ben and Jerry's to me. F that, no Ben and Jerry's for me.
Not a fan. I typically stick with the Bluebell.
There's
Bluebell
only
or
two
Baskin Robbins.
beers I eat, and it's the one that has like the walnuts in it. It has like the banana split, kind of like their. It's funky. I think it's Funky Monkey
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
Funky Monkey.
Yeah.
tonight, though. Other than that, I don't care for anything else they have there.
Yes, she has.
Go away tomorrow. Hey, if you say her name 3 times, does she show up or does she go away?
I don't know. That's a good question. Now I do want ice cream though, and I already had my pig. I do the same thing. I don't do it as often as I should, but I do the intermittent fasting, and I did have my big meal. But I'm just like, dang it.
So I do
want
that.
ice cream.
I have the big meal, and then I wait an hour till midnight, and then I have another big meal.
Well, I fast between meals unless I'm snacking.
Well, look, in the last stream, y'all saw I was snacking on those pretzel bits even after I had dinner. So I was
And
like,
remember, next time you
still
stream with Eglantine, leave your microphone on while you're chewing. He loves that.
oh, I was gonna say I need to go get some
And crinkle
cheese
the
puffs.
wrappers.
I need to get some cheese puffs for that.
He likes when he goes right in the ears.
I can almost understand being annoyed with that, but not to the level that he is, where it's like he takes
it makes you want to do it so bad.
Exactly. It does something to like the toddler in me that just wants to do something just to aggravate somebody for the sake of it.
Well, congratulations! I didn't know you're carrying a
Who
toddler.
said that? What?
He's got
What?
a toddler.
This
Please
guy.
don't bring that with you next week.
Next week I won't be here.
Get a writer.
real quick. I need to head on out because my wife is calling. So
Oh, well, that is a good reason.
yeah, so I need to duck out. But thank you again for having me on for chit chatting.
Oh.
And I for people in the chat again, I don't say make no promises, but I'm gonna try and get Chuck on here at this time next week. So
That'll be
I'll
fun.
keep everyone posted, and hopefully that will be something we can make happen. But
Like I said, if you don't feel like you don't want to talk, you don't interrupt, just do what Bring does on Engleteen's stream. He just sits there with his microphone off and his camera off. The whole time.
No. I will literally make the introduction, and I'm gonna duck out. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna let you guys have at it because I wanna pull up my my drawing tablet and draw and listen and kind of chill out too. So
I want to throw that a Kamen America thing up Kickstarter up just to show people, and
What?
then
Yeah.
we're
Let
gonna-
me,
we're
yeah,
gonna
let me
do,
do that.
just show them what the books look like on the Kickstarter, and then if you want to dip off, go ahead. You know,
Oh.
How do you do? What do you do? Do you hit present? Is that what you
present is basically StreamYard did this crap where they got rid of it says share, now it says present. It's like whose idea was that?
do? Whose idea?
Yes, whose idea was that?
You sound so Canadian there. Okay, here we go. What do I do? Do I have to?
oh,
full
that's it.
screen
We see it.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, this is Kamen America Volume 6 and the Omnibus.
Yeah, digital omnibus.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's.
you have the digital
it's
chapters
awesome.
1 through 5. You can get their PDFs right now available.
Yep, 8 days left to go, so you still got plenty of time. Badger up here on the word board.
Comics.com. You can also go on there for some other goodies on there.
Yep, you getting some awesome artwork from Tim Lim here. You didn't do the cover, did you, Tim?
No, that's
This-
Kaio
okay.
Naoki. He's a
Okay.
regular cover artist.
You guys have some really awesome cover artists. I know every time I see Jeff Spokes on the cover, I'm just like, I have to have it. But,
Yeah, Jeff Spokes. He just got hired by DC.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he's
wow,
doing
good-
covers for them now.
Good for him. I saw he did a cover for a Xenoscope book.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah,
thinking,
that's how I found him. Was he was doing those Xenoscope covers? I think he did maybe Blade Runner last year too. But I know he worked on Aphrodite 9, but no, we got as much work out of him as we could between Doug and myself and some of and I think the guy who owns Iconic. I think he did our box art that's going to be debuting either this year or next year.
Yeah, I've been enjoying. There's a lot of cool people who are actually getting covers now over at DC. John Boymeyer is the original guy on the Rebirth for Teen Titans who left the book. Is finally getting some more work at DC.
Oh, he's really good too. He kind of has a Joe Mad type style.
Kind of, yeah.
doing Harley Quinn covers right now.
Mm.
So you can't
You're-
get the calendar.
I was-
That's what I'm going for. And then these I had to stop on this because Marmot Maiden is my favorite one.
Oh, Marmot
Is-
Maiden's the best.
She's the
Whenever
best.
we were brainstorming what to do for this one, I was like, we need to reintroduce some of the characters that appeared in some of our other books.
Yes.
And I basically take it as an excuse to draw, whatchamacallit, marmots. I really like marmots. That's the only reason she exists.
This little woodland creature. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked. They were actually Marmot Maiden and Ice Toaster and all of the Wall Might
Yes.
parody characters were awesome, and I'm happy to see them coming back. I liked seeing them in when y'all did the announcement for the Kamen Academy.
Yeah, they'll be
webtoon.
there.
Yeah,
they'll be appearing here pretty soon. I think probably within the next 5 weeks they'll make their appearance.
Awesome.
And
So yeah, it looks great. Of course, the art looks fantastic. I can't wait to read it. And y'all are on the ball with fulfillment.
Eric,
it's,
Green-
it's
I
done.
like
It's
clockwork.
completely done. The books are printed. They're at the warehouse. So as soon as the campaign ends, we wait 10 days. The PDFs go out, and then the physicals go out.
It's $25 for the actual physical book, and then $4 for the PDFs.
No, the PDFs are $5 and the hardcovers are $10.
Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. I saw
25 was for the comic and with the calendar.
Yeah,
Ah,
with the calendar. That sold out pretty quickly, but we have enough
I
of the
imagine
plush
so.
toys.
well, you've
Plush toys
seen
we
that
still have a lot of.
adult art on that calendar. You'll imagine why.
I was about to say, yeah, I kind of like, oh,
And it's all
I
Jeff
need to make
Spokes
sure.
art too. I think
That's the
95%
thing,
of it
When
is.
I look at some of
Is
Jeff,
it? Oh,
it kind of looks like
ah.
Adam Hughes or Dodson.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back and double check and make sure that I'm getting that calendar if it's.
So
mostly
Eric,
Jeff
I
Spokes
look
stuff.
forward to hearing what your favorite part about this book is.
Oh, don't put pressure on Eric. I don't like doing that.
He can't take it.
Funny story. It is completely true. We don't look at our backer listing. I never look. I don't. The only time I look is when someone specifically says, "I'm backer XYZ. Can you please see this discrepancy?" And then I'll go in there and I'll check. But I never look at it. And the reason why is, I swear my own family doesn't buy my books.
Oh,
And I never want to put anyone on the spot and say like, "Oh, how come you haven't read my books?" or anything like that. I don't do that at all. I don't like high pressure sales. I hate it when people do that to me. I've had a lot of independent creators do that to me too, where they're like, "Hey, I backed your book. How come you didn't back mine?" I'm like, well, I don't look at backer listings. I mean, geez.
I only said that because Eric was very quiet when we started talking about the book.
That's okay.
Tim knows I don't own any Kamen America stuff yet. I have
Yeah.
Trump Space Force.
And and if Eric ever wants it, I will send him a copy for free. So
What?
Yeah.
Send him a copy number 1. He needs a new roof.
Well, because Eric likes I know he has very good taste, and I know it based on the recommendations he's had over old comics that he and Englund have talked about, and he and Wes have talked about. And I think so the thing is this, knowing his taste, I am actually not sure if our book will appeal to him because a lot of it has a manga influence. Now, I know that he knows manga pretty well because I've heard him talk about it. But I don't try to, unless it's a surefire, like, home run, like this is a thing, I'm not going to recommend it. So I am always here where if Brian wants a copy of it, you can reach out to me and I will gladly send you a copy for free. The whole shebang. I'll send you the big old omnibus so that you can check it out. But
Tim, I would never ask, but I would not say no because
well,
I'm not that kind of person to ask for because I dug off for the first Soul Finder. I couldn't bring myself to ask.
Well, the funny thing is that he offered that, but like I will do it in person, like if it's someone I know and I like, but I don't slide into people's DMs and say like, "Hey, you want a copy of this?" Like, nah. I'm not a salesman by nature. Like that's not my that's never where I'm coming from. So basically it's like, no, if you ever want it, just let me know or just send me a DM or just say, "Hey Tim, I'll take you up on the offer and I'll send one your way." It's not a problem.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll be happy. I mean, I'll send you my address.
Yes,
I'd
and I'll
love
send
it.
you a copy. That's not a problem at all.
I like what I say. I just I don't. I've backed one book in the last 4 years since the first Jawbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
I backed something called Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter. I saw the name and I said, I have to see this. And and then I waited and waited and waited. And then apparently, my friend ordered them for both of us. He got them about 3 weeks ago. I still haven't taken the time to go over and pick it up.
Aww.
Well, it's probably good. Might be great. Who knows? But
the best, the problem, we get a lot. There's a lot of flattering things that people say, but someone had said that they grew up reading like John Byrne's run on She-Hulk, and they said that our book captured that kind of fun, sexy yet wholesome kind of tongue-in-cheek atmosphere very well. And so I take that as a good compliment. Like
I can really see that actually. I don't think I ever put that together, but now that you say that, I was like, yeah, kind of.
Even though we don't break the fourth wall.
Yeah, even though But no, besides that though, just like having like an adventure and a story and everything, but then also having, like you're saying, there's that kind of fine line that y'all ride between the sexy and then also the wholesome.
Yeah, because we want to keep it. We want to keep it at an age where it's like if you're like a boy or girl coming of age, it's this idea of like, well, if you grew up thinking girls have cooties, like I think like a character like She-Hulk is a good introduction. in that old run, because it's like, no, like women can be like really hot and yet they're, you know, funny and they have their own like personality and they can be quirky too, and it makes it kind of like this safe territory to tread. It's very unassuming and very much like just a very good introductory book for that type of readership. Same thing for women too, who are probably like, well, I want to get into comics, but I don't know where to start. So we deliberately write our comics in a certain way where we do kind of skirt this line, but in the publication itself, there's definitely like a set of parameters that we work in to make sure that it's
Tim, real quick before you go, for I know your wife's probably
yes
hates all three of us by now. If you are nice enough to send something to me, would you have any objection to me showing it off on? We do a show every Wednesday night called the Four Color Fossils. It's a bunch of guys my age we generally just show gold, silver, and bronze age books. But I had Joe Corallo on the week his Archie story came out, and would you mind if I showed it off?
No, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
If
just don't say I bribed you, because
no, okay. Well, then also I said, you know, if you're not busy on that particular Wednesday, would you like to come on for a bit?
Yeah. If I can make room for it. My wife and I are busy these days, and so like finding time to slip away from my work can be kind of troublesome. But yeah, as long as it's planned out ahead of time.
It's Wednesday. We're on Wednesdays at 8 every week, like clockwork. Old people are like that. But you know, I will let you know, with time in advance, and I can wait until the week that you can come on.
To
show it, and that I would love to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That would not be a problem at all. I'll just let my wife know.
Great.
Any chance Kamen America will be serialized into floppies? I think he means Iconic Comics, not Antarctic Press.
I don't know. So AP already puts out some of them. Volumes 1 and 2 have already come out. If you look at Diamond for last week, the ad for Volume 3 is in there, and I think that comes out in February. I just sent the files to them for Kamen America 4. That comes out in March, and the only difference is that the AP versions are missing 8 pages from the campaign versions, and then Iconic is putting out their own saddle stitch version, but they're only on Volume 2 right now. They've been kind of held back by a few factors, mostly because the people who run it are really, really busy, so they have a hard time getting around to it. But the Iconic saddle stitch versions will have the full story. I forgot what they're missing. There's something that they're missing. I think it's the art galleries. So they have basically just story, no art galleries, nothing like that. And then you have the AP version, which is just story, but it's typically at a cheaper price than the hardcover. So yeah, those are coming here pretty soon.
All right, then I only have one more suggestion for the next GIL basically Black Ops book. You have Warfrog in there, being the guy he breaks the fourth wall, introduces things.
Oh no!
So basically, the guy who basically what's that guy from the DC universe?
Deadman. Deadman.
Deadman.
No, not Deadman. The one that was in Suicide Squad crossover. The one
Ambush Bug.
Yes, make me basically Ambush Bug, but Warfrog.
I don't know. I can see you more as an Impossible Man type of character.
And I just say, remember, then this, as editor note, you just have the Warfrog.
I see Ash on Comics says he hasn't seen them. Yeah, if you go on eBay, or if you can go to AntarcticPress.com, I don't know if they've sold out or not, but go on eBay or go on AntarcticPress.com, and you can see the previous issues that are there. I don't keep up with them, but they just send me a royalty check whenever the time comes. So, but I know Volume 3 is in the solicits for last week. But anyway, I am gonna head on out. But y'all have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Breen,
Tim, thanks for stopping by.
No problem. DM me your address, and I'll try and send it out either tomorrow or Thursday.
I'll send the address to you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
All right. Good night, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Now that he's gone.
Oh, no. Now
we can say goodbye.
Oh, are we saying goodbye? Oh, okay. So,
All right.
yes. So, all right. Well, are you going to say goodbye or am I saying goodbye first? How does this work?
I'm going to leave the little ticker right here because that's what I like to do.
Ah, yeah, the ticker.
If you like this content and you want more people on this channel, like some more creator, Chuck Dixon, obviously, I would love to have Jim Shooter. I mean, David Micheline. I mean, Joe Corallo again. I seen he was on one of the early retrospectives with Superman. And just anything else. We love to have you guys watching us. So if you can, there's a Ko-Fi link, ko-fi.com/Palpatine. It helps out the channel, helps me get Taco Bell, and then
There you go, Ash. That was for you.
So we love having creators on here. We love having Tim Lim on here. Awesome person. Great artist, great personality, just very humble and kind guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
So, and that being said, if you haven't done so, please click like. Also, if you haven't subscribe, and share these streams out, man. The word of mouth helps everybody. Helps you, helps us.
And if you're catching this on the replay, be sure to leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed our conversation, if you have an opinion on something we said, go ahead and let us know. Even if it's just to say hi. But Austin P, let's just get the whole 80s Marvel bullpen. Yeah, why not? We can get them all.
I would if I could, but I'm not sure how many are actually still kicking.
Can't be that many. I don't think it's that many.
Oh, there's a lot of guys from the 80s are still around.
From the
okay. The early ones, like Steranko.
I mean, the only mainstay of the 80s Marvel who's gone is Mark Gruenwald, and he died in the late 90s. So that's
okay.
As far as writers, and Bill Mantlo was in that horrific accident that he's left him in a vegetative state.
Yep.
But the rest of them pretty much are still around.
Okay.
Sure, he does interviews and stuff, over at Comic Cons on MegaCon, I think it's called.
MegaCon, yeah, the big one in Orlando, yeah. I want to make it to one of these days.
Gina Carano, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on here.
That is true. That is very true. But anyway, all right. Before I start blushing at the thought of Gina Carano being
I'm sorry, the closest we're ever going to get is Joe Corallo. Phonetically close. Aesthetically, not even a little bit.
Aesthetically, different sides of town.
What if you dress up though?
Anyway, thank y'all for being here and for joining in the conversation in the chat. We hope y'all had a good time. Y'all come back. Do y'all have review streams going on tomorrow? You and Puppetine? Are y'all reviewing anything?
Yes, tomorrow, the season premiere of The Winchesters, followed by a review of we have Stargirl, a new episode of Kung Fu, and then come back on Thursday to join the humans as they review the best books of the week.
That's
Friday, Dracula is going to show up. He's right. Friday night retrospective, The Tomb of Dracula, issue number 1. Eric Breen's first comic book appearance.
Blah, blah, blah.
He does not say blah, blah, blah.
He will say blah, blah, blah.
Yes, he will. He definitely will. So, yeah, we've got some fun streams coming y'all's way this week. Y'all be sure to tune in for those. But, yeah, y'all have a great rest of y'all's night, and happy New Comic Book Day tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Good night, kids.
Good night, humans.
There it is.